Okay, hello. What's going on, guys? V4 is back. The menace is here, and he's back to do what menaces do, I guess, to be very menacing. No. We're back to streaming. We're back to doing our thing. Had a little bit of a break there. Had some stuff going on, but yeah, we're back at it. Today we're going to be taking a look at a few things. We got some of this. So apparently Ozzy. What's this? Let's see. I don't know why this keeps happening. Yeah, you search the thing. Supposedly Ozzy passed away. Ozzy Osbourne, legendary rock star, dies at 76. Okay, here we go. This time it worked. All right, so yeah, so that we're gonna be talking about that. It's a end of an era there for sure. And we got some other stuff as well. We're gonna be talking about probably some of the Vshojo stuff here, which I'm not 100% in the know, but I know that these are, and we'll talk about it later. But these are basically agencies that make contracts with content creators. In this case, it's Vtubers, and some of the stuff has been going really poorly. So we'll talk about that. And we got some stuff regarding obviously the train that never ends, which is the we're going to be reacting to some stuff here about Trump and his the Epstein kerfuffle, the never-ending story, which, by the way, it shouldn't end until it's over. And we're also, probably for that, we're going to be talking about the whole Visa Mastercard thing, because the Visa Mastercard thing's really, like, this stuff has been going on for a long time, and I find it to be so awful and distasteful how basically two credit card banking financial institutions can essentially control the world. Because it's like, if they say, oh, we're not going to do business with you, you're not going to be able to use our payment processing services, then they can instantly delete a company. And that's crazy. That's like, I mean, they're worse than governments in many ways. And they don't care. They don't have no rules to follow. They do what they want. And I'm fucking sick of it. So I'm happy to talk about this shit. I think it's been a problem for fucking like 15 years, at least since I've been aware of it. And some stuff has happened here with Visa, Mastercard, and Steam, and we're going to be talking about that. So yeah, I think we'll be starting with Ozzy. So let's see what's going on here. I mean, we know what's going on. We know what's not going on, unfortunately. But yeah, let's find out here. So, okay, so this is here from X, and basically Ozzy Osbourne dies at 76. And I don't know if I can, should I make this bigger? I don't know if, there's all this blank space here. I hate how modern websites, like, you have all this blank space here and all this blank space here. But you know what? If I make it bigger, it might be a problem, because then now my little square is gonna obscure more of it. So maybe we should just leave it like this. But yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, known for his tenure as the frontman of Black Sabbath, passed away at the age of 76. I wonder what did him in. His death was announced by his family, indicating he was surrounded by love at the time of his passing. Osbourne had recently performed what was to be his final concert. So yeah, I mean, I guess he could already see where this was going. If that was his final concert, I mean, he knew it probably wasn't looking good for him. In Birmingham, I'm not sure. I think it's Birmingham, but just weeks prior, the music world has reacted with tributes from his former band teammates and fans alike. You know, for as crazy as some of those rock shows could get, 76, not that bad for all this stuff, all the freaking hazardous stuff, all the drug use, the destructive lifestyle that you see in rock stars of the era. I mean, honestly, 76, not that bad. That's what is the average life expectancy? It's like 82 for a guy. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I gotta say, if I was a betting man, I would have bet he would have died much earlier. So average life expectancy for men. So that's average life expectancy. Okay, so this is the AI thing here. So let's see what. So the AI thing says it was actually 75. Really? I thought it was 80. Wow, so he actually went above the the average life expectancy. Even this is very real health. 76. I'm actually curious about this list of states and territories, but so they got it by. Okay, so I'm guessing places in the south probably are were more rough. So okay, so California, does California have the highest? What's the latest? Latest they got is 2021. So 76.4 overall. No, I'm sorry. We don't care about overall. It's male. Male is 73.5, and female. And there's actually been a decrease in recent years. That's crazy. Normally, life expectancy has been trending upwards for what felt like forever. Look at this. This is what I remember. This is 82. That's what I remember hearing was the life expectancy, but it varies by place, which makes sense. And if we sort by, let's sort by the lowest is Mississippi, as expected. You know, it's a poor place. West Virginia at 68. There's also a lot of workers. There's a lot of blue collar work, which is a lot more demanding on the body in places like Mississippi. That's my understanding. So yeah, 67 and 74. Even for women, it's not. I mean, it's not that bad, but it is. Yeah, that's crazy. And let's see what the highest is. The highest is 77 for Hawaii. Yeah. And US average is 78. Of 76 for males. Yeah, so I mean, he basically met the average. That's surprising to me. He met the average, and I guess, I hope he lived a good life. He's definitely gonna go in the is there even such a thing as like Hall of Legends for like rock and roll stars? I don't know. I don't know. I know they have several things for like general music stuff, but I don't know. I mean, he's absolutely a legend. So it's sad to see, to see this happen, but hey, 76, not too bad. I wonder what it is that got him though. So Aquaman hosted Ozzy Osbourne's final show. I'm scared. Okay. Yeah. Rest in power. That's so cringe, man. I'm sorry, I just think that's so stupid. So yeah, he passed away at 76. He was born in 1948. Passed away in 2025. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, rest in peace. So yeah, that's what happened there. Nothing about his cause of death or anything. A lot of times they like to keep this quiet. I'm sure there's gonna be, you know, what's it called when they like, do an autopsy and stuff like that. But even then, they may want to keep it quiet. Depends on the family and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm really curious. I'm really curious about this Vshojo stuff. there's two videos that I actually, was it three? I thought I had another one here. It's like I think it's this one here. Yeah, it's why is everybody leaving this company? I want to find out what's going on here because I'm not in the know. But this apparently this.
There's a topic
So this is a client, a. Yeah, it's like you know, they're an agency for talent, and since a lot of VTuber stuff is based or was initially based off of Japan, you know, obviously animes from Japan, mangas from Japan, you know, there's a big culture of that stuff over there. They have something called basically idol culture. And idols are, you know, as you'd expect, are, you know, usually female young girls who sing and, you know, have other talents and whatever else. And there's like a fan base. And that's essentially the idol culture. And the way that it works over there is that when you're an idol, you're essentially signing up, or when you want to become an idol, I'm not sure what happens first, but I guess when you're starting out, you would sign up with an agency. And the agency is going to take care of certain things for you. Like they're going to take care of marketing. They're going to take care of paperwork. They're going to take care of like setting up like appointments with venues and stuff like that. If you're going to be performing at certain places, etc., etc. You know, signing of merchandise sales, all of that stuff. So they handle a lot of stuff. So what the creator gets is that the creator doesn't have to deal with all of the stuff that's completely outside of their expertise. If all you know how to do is, you know, sing really well, you probably don't know a lot about, you know, budgets and marketing and all this and that. And so it can be seen as a big benefit. The problem is that these companies, surprise, surprise, what they mean in many ways by taking care of you often means fucking you in the ass. So these companies will have you sign a contract, and the contract is going to take away a lot of your freedom. It's going to make it so that you can't talk a lot about can't talk about a lot of stuff. You can't express yourself in certain ways. You can't just partner up with whoever you want. You have to work this much. You have to do this, like that. And it places a lot of limitations. It also, obviously, they take a big cut of the money that you make. They claim, and this is a big one, they claim ownership of everything that you make. They can claim ownership of the IP. So for example, if you make even if you make like a VTuber avatar and you've drawn it, you designed it, you've written what the character is going to be like and everything, they will, the moment that you sign a contract with these agencies, they will take control, and now it's theirs, and now they can do whatever they want, and they have it for life, and you don't. So you're essentially selling your soul. It's very much like a classical record company. When you sign up to make a record with a company like this, you are basically selling away all your rights in many ways, the rights to your work. But these companies are then going to take care of a lot of stuff that you just don't, right? You just don't know how to do at that point in time. So there's a benefit to it, but there's obviously a big downside. And these agencies have been under a lot of hot fire recently because a lot of VTubers have been leaving. There's been a lot of drama. And this one seems to be particularly imploding badly. This one called Vshojo. So let's find out what's going on here. This is a video by Penguins Zero, also known as Moist Critical. And let's see what he has to say about this.
There's a topic I cover from time to time that always seems to ruffle some feathers and get people squirming in their chairs in anger. Because
right. Before we do that, I need to turn off the music. There we go. There we go.
There's a topic I cover from time to time that always seems to ruffle some feathers and get people squirming in their chairs in anger, because I have less than kind things to say about some of the biggest players in the industry. But I just can't help myself. I can't bite my tongue on it. I'm like Winnie the Pooh poking a beehive because I'm addicted to the honey inside. And in this case, that honey is vindication. For a while now, I have bah humbugged VTuber agencies.
There we
I've
go.
seen a lot of the contracts that some of the top talent were under locked into with
Yeah.
these organizations, and they are extraordinarily corrupt. I think the agencies in this space are exploitative and they treat their talent more like prisoners. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah. And like I said, you sell essentially everything to them. Your time, your a big part of the money that you make, your character, the character that you design or you create, if you have created a character, all assigned away to them. They take complete ownership of everything.
unbelievable the depths of greed that these agencies in the VTuber space have succumbed to. But before I dive deeper into the spaghetti and the meatballs on my disdain for VTuber agencies in the industry, I would like to give you the catalyst for why I'm talking about it again today. It's because Ironmouse just made a really sad video about why she's leaving Vshojo. Vshojo being another huge player in the VTuber space. They are a massive agency that's
Yep.
represented some of the top talent.
And Ironmouse is
Unfortunately,
huge.
I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by Vshojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I
Ooh.
have not been paid. And most
Uh-oh.
importantly, the
Smells
thing
like
that
a
hurts me
lawsuit.
the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from Vshojo.
For those that don't know who
Oh my
Ironmouse is,
god.
she is one of
I
the
knew that's where it
biggest
was going.
streamers on Twitch in terms of
Yeah, she's huge.
subscribers. She even broke the all-time subscriber record.
Yeah.
And she has a primary immunodeficiency disease. She
Yeah.
has
So she can't leave the
CVID.
house and stuff like that.
So she does a lot of charitable work for this organization, and apparently she's just discovered.
So
So she does a lot of charitable immunodeficiency disease. She has CVID. So she
yeah, and that makes it so basically somebody who has an immunodeficiency disease, your immune system doesn't work very good. And you know what your immune system is? It's the military of your body. It's the police and military combined, right? And when it sees, oh, there's a virus coming in, there's COVID or something coming in, you see like the bacteria and the viruses coming in, your immune system spots them and then kills them. Right? So it can keep you safe. And that's how it works in normal people. And sometimes the viruses they get out of control, or sometimes they're not spotted fast enough, and then they start causing a full blown invasion, right? And that's when you're full blown sick with the flu or something like that, and you feel like shit. But then your body resolves it. If you're healthy, it takes care of it, and then your body just wipes them all out. So it's a very good thing to have a well functioning immune system. When you have an immuno deficiency disorder like this, basically your immune system is just not working. It's not working good. It's not taking care of the problem. You know, you get sick very easily. Whenever you do get sick, you can get sick very badly from even light things. So sometimes, you guys ever like you guys remember like the movie Bubble Boy, where I'm pretty sure this was the premise. I saw it when I was a kid, so I don't remember exactly, but the kid essentially had something like this, and he needed to be in a bubble because his body couldn't handle being outside. You know, if you go outside, there's a trillion germs, right? And you're gonna get sick with something eventually. And if you have a condition like this, that could kill you. So he was in a bubble, and that's how he lived his life. And everywhere he went to class and all this and that. He was always in that bubble, right? And it caused a bunch of problems. That's basically the movie. Um, Unfortunately for Iron Mouse, I don't think that she has a bubble. I don't think she can leave like that, and so she has to essentially be at her house, and she has to be receiving treatment all the time. And it's a very tough life. It really is. So the reason why she does VTubing is because she wanted to be able to do a job where she could be productive and she could contribute to society, right? Um, in a way that she could, because she's not like she could get a job. It's not like she could go out there, and it's a beautiful thing to watch her essentially succeed and become one of the biggest VTubers, because it's a very humble story. This is a girl that has gone through a lot and is going through a lot, and frankly, it's a bunch of bullshit what these companies are doing. They're taking advantage of people like this, sick people like this, that they're not giving money to the charity who is a charity whose entire purpose is to help people like this. Like this is I don't like making moral arguments, but my God, this is fucking terrible. These people are fucking awful. Like this is one of the worst sides of, I hate to say it, capitalism. And I love capitalism, but you know, it is what it is. So let's hope she can get this resolved.
She does a lot of charitable work for this organization, and apparently she's just discovered that Vshojo hasn't fully paid what they owed her personally, and they haven't paid the money that they owe to the charitable foundation that she was fundraising for.
Man.
Something that she does often, but Vshojo is required in this process because they handle her money in certain cases, which is not uncommon in the space. Like,
that's a common thing.
I'm gonna get deeper into like a lot of things with VTuber agencies that I've tiptoed around quite a bit in the past, but I want to like fully go into the weeds of it here. But let me just go ahead and explain where that number's coming from, the $500,000 owed to charity that Vshojo still hasn't paid.
They promptly sent the payment, and the subathon was a huge success. So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers.
Holy shit.
And breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Holy shit.
I once again asked Vshojo to make the donation
$500,000
on my behalf. But unfortunately, still a year later, Vshojo has not paid the charity.
So in a nutshell, Ironmouse ran a subathon. It was extremely successful and raised a ton of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. And Vshojo did pay it out the first time around, but when she came back for the second time the following year, it was even bigger. It broke records, and it raised over $500,000 that were supposed to go to the Immune Deficiency Foundation that has still not been paid out to the charitable organization to this day, according to Ironmouse.
What a fucking
now,
shit show.
I've seen a little bit of confusion, people wondering why would Vshojo even be handling that money in the first place? Why wouldn't it just come directly?
Oh, thanks, M. Poseline. And I'm sorry if I mispronounce this, M. Ponsolihe? or Ponsolihi. Thanks for following me on Kick. Appreciate it.
Directly from Ironmouse, since it's her Twitch. Well, that's where you get into the really stinky territory where in a lot of cases these agencies, they handle the finances of the talent. Like, they put their grubby paws on it before the talent does.
They basically handle everything.
Uncommon in the space for the agreement between talent
except
and agency
for the actual performance
to
of
have
the talent.
agency directly handle like their Twitch subs and their Twitch revenue and their Twitch ads. That
it all goes through them first.
And in the full video, Ironmouse goes deeper into this, so I highly encourage you to check out the full thing for the entire scoop. But in her case specifically, that was actually kind of appealing to her because then she would be able to stay even more private because she really values her anonymity.
Yeah.
So having Vshojo involved in that process was actually kind of a big deal to her. And for previous fundraising through Tiltify, it wasn't a problem, but when it came to the subathon money, since it was going through Twitch subs and everything, it meant Vshojo was going to be involved in this process. And the first time it was fine. It apparently went off without issue. But this time, when the money was even higher, well, some kind of screws must have went loose over there at the Vshojo headquarters. I guess that shit just fucking burst into flames or something, and they just haven't got around to it. They're still putting out some fires, and they'll get to it any day now.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too much cash. Just a little bit too much of a. I mean, $500,000. I mean, come on, guys. Are we gonna really give that away to charity? I mean, come on. I mean, it's $500,000. Like, surely there's some loophole or something we can use so we can keep that cash.
Vshojo would be responsible for donating that money on her behalf, an obligation that they still haven't fulfilled all this time later, according to Ironmouse. It's diabolical, withholding over $500,000 to charity, and also withholding money that Ironmouse is allegedly owed as well. And what's even crazier is how unsurprised I am by it. Now, full disclosure, I didn't know too much about Vshojo's inner workings. That was one of the few agencies I wasn't super privy to on like the behind the scenes of, but I'd always heard good.
You know, this is one of those things is like history repeats itself. Like this is just the issues with record companies. Like this was the whole record company versus the artist thing all over again. Same shit from like the freaking 60s replaying out now. Um it just keeps happening. And I bet you that if you go back through time, I bet you're going to see many similar cases where you have some sort of merchant who's like, "Hey, I handle all the paperwork and marketing and all this and that. And you just get on the stage and you just start singing, and we'll take care of everything, right?" But behind closed doors, that merchant or company or whatever is just seeing the money pile up, and it's just like, "Hey, well, maybe we're gonna keep a little bit more. Or maybe we're gonna change the terms of the agreement, or maybe we'll do this or that." I bet you that this has been happening before you could even imagine. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if you could go back to like Mesopotamia or something. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like way back in like the first civilization and see somebody pulling this shit somehow. It's like, "Oh yeah, you're a really good singer. I'm a merchant. I got a lot of money. I could promote you." And then pulling this type of shit.
Things, but I always had skepticism because of how the industry functions at the agency level from the other ones I know. And this kind of dirty, scummy, greedy business is just so standard for these agencies in the space. It is sickening.
Yeah.
Now, Vshojo is going
They're
through
obsessed
big
with
turbulence
ownership.
right now. They're losing some of their top talent. Like even before Ironmouse's video, about a month ago, they made a post about how Giga was going to be departing Vshojo.
So okay, so Vshojo made this. This is on Twitter. Dear community members, we would like to share that Giga will be parting ways with Vshojo as of June 27th, 2025. Giga has been an incredible member of Vshojo since she joined in 2023. Her humor and collaborative spark have shaped Vshojo's culture, and we're excited to keep cheering her on in this next chapter. The impact that she has had on Vshojo will not be forgotten on stream and behind the scenes. So actually this is really good here. So it says, and I'm glad they point this out. Giga will keep her IP, so her intellectual property, probably like the whole Giga branding and all of that. Uh, Giga was gonna keep it, and we wish her the best on this journey moving forward. That's actually crazy that they let her do that. Maybe Giga like had like a really good contract or something, or maybe we show just different. I don't know. Any merch on the website will still be available for purchase until June 27th. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. Um, that is such a Japanese thing to say. Thank you for your understanding. Yeah. Sincerely, Vshojo team. Um, yeah. 1.9 million views, 25,000 likes. Yeah, I'm actually surprised they let her keep the IP.
And then just 48 hours later, they announced Zen would also be leaving
Ooh.
Vshojo.
Wait, so is Zen gonna keep her? Yeah, it says it right there. Zen will keep her IP, and we wish her the best on the next leg of her journey. That's awesome.
One of their original members. So there's definitely been some, curious Georges out there wondering what's going on at Vshojo that's got
Yeah,
everyone leaving. What's this exodus from
they're
Vshojo all
imploding.
about? Fun fact,
It's
Giga
probably it's
is
probably
actually
similar.
with us at Cheeky now. We're not like a VTuber agency. That's not what I'm trying to get across. Our soap. She really likes our soap, Cheeky soap. So she's partnered with us at Cheeky, and she's
Well,
an
that's great.
absolute sweetheart. That's what I was trying to get across.
Yes.
The point is,
buy
some like
Moise's
really
soap.
good people have
Buy-
been
buy-
leaving
buy
Vshojo,
Cheeky.
and now Ironmouse have dropped this video about some very alleged scummy practices here at the Vshojo corporate level, and I don't know how Vshojo recovers from it going forward. They haven't made a statement yet. It's still a little too fresh as of me making this video. I'm very curious what they're going to say about it.
This is
If
gonna
I had
involve
to
a lawsuit, I bet.
spitball, I would imagine that their next play will be donating that money to the charitable
I would
foundation.
hope so,
I
but who
imagine they
knows?
donate the 515K to the Immune Deficiency Foundation or whatever the exact number was. I bet they'll do that to desperately try and save face. I don't think the community will respond well to it because it's very clear that they're just doing it now because of the public pressure that's being exerted on them. I don't know how they move forward with a good reputation. I don't think all of their talent's going to leave overnight. I imagine a lot of those contracts, in fact, I'm confident a lot of those contracts lock them down for quite a while
certain
with like
time
some
period.
non-disparagement clauses in there and everything. Like I bet there is a lot of things at play where the talent won't be able to leave even if they really want to. And I can only hope that the community here doesn't start attacking the Vshojo talent for staying, because
Yeah, I mean, I hope so too, but it's the internet, man. It's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna be talking shit.
I imagine in a lot of cases they don't have a choice. Now, that's kind of the situation in a nutshell, but I want to dive deeper into agencies as a whole. I've kind of teased it a little bit throughout the video. And I know people like to talk about VTubing as a whole, like it's some kind of niche that's not mainstream. That couldn't be further from the truth. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it is so lucrative. And these agencies have swooped in and made sure they are the ones getting the
Keeping all
lion's
the money.
share of that money, and they'll kind of trickle down, drip feed a little milk from their titties to the talent that's under their umbrella. And what's even more disgusting is they fed people shit and gave them a taste for it, an acquired palate, normalizing their...
I mean, look at Twitch. Like Twitch takes, so how much is it? Like the reason that people like Kick is because Kick takes 5%. So like if you're somebody who's like, I don't know, you're donating $1 or whatever to your favorite streamer on Kick, that streamer is going to get 95 cents out of that whole dollar. If you're donating $100, that streamer is going to get $95 out of those $100. And Kick is only going to get $5. And the reason Kick says that they take those $5, that 5%, is because they got to pay the payment processing fee. Because I don't know if you know, but this is going to lead into probably our next video. Visa and Mastercard, they charge you for payment processing. You're going to be paying money. They make money off of that. So it's not free. Like if you get one of those devices, or if you're like hooked up on, on the internet or whatever to take Visa Mastercards, Visa is going to be charging you money every time that somebody swipes or pays with a Visa card. And so they're taking 5% to cover those expenses. That's basically it. My understanding is that Kick doesn't even make a profit on subscriptions or anything like that. And that's very consumer. I mean, I'm sorry, that's very creator and consumer. That's very creator friendly, because if you think about it, whenever somebody's donating money or somebody's giving a sub or whatever to Ironmouse, they probably want to really give the money to Ironmouse. They don't probably want to give it to like Twitch or Dan Clancy or whatever. They want that money to go to Ironmouse, right? That's what it's really about. And on Kick, the vast majority of that money will go to, whoever the streamer is. But Twitch takes 50 fucking percent, not 5%, 50%. That's right. 50 freaking percent. So if you donate $100 to Ironmouse is only going to get $50, and Twitch is going to get the other 50. And I'm sure Twitch is very happy with that arrangement. Look, Twitch hasn't made money. Apparently, Twitch has never been profitable. I'm not sure exactly how they're using their money, if they're reinvesting it, if they're trying to grow or whatever. There could be various reasons for this. But the point is that you give $100 on Twitch, the streamer's only going to get 50. You give $100 on Kick, the streamer's going to get 95. That's huge. That's freaking huge. And that's the difference between something that is very much trying to get creators to, to court creators, to make it more creator friendly, and somebody who's just kind of resting, an entity like Twitch that is resting on their laurels.
Agreed, where the talent, the ones that are actually gathering the audience, the actual VTubers, they don't see most of the money that they bring in. The agency does. That includes merch. That includes their Twitch subs. That includes YouTube revenue. Pretty much any piece of the pie that has dollars, doubloons in it. The agency is the one that's got their fingers in it, and the VTuber gets pieces of it. Tiddlywinks.
Yeah, a small fraction.
And I think it is so ass backwards. It has always rubbed me the wrong way. So I've always talked very negatively about VTuber agencies, much to the chagrin of the VTuber audience. The audience that watches VTubers is very loyal to their favorite creators in the space. So they get very upset when the 5'6" Florida man Neanderthal shoots spitballs at the agency that represents their favorite VTuber, because the community, like the relationship between the agency and the VTuber is one that's supposed to be built on like a tight connection, like this partnership, almost like a family. But nothing could be further from the truth. It's about as much of a family as
right.
like the prison warden is to the prisoners. I just think it is completely unacceptable the way a lot of these agencies.
I'm sure the
treat
record
their
industry
talent.
was
also
considered a family
a lot
to
of people
many
have been completely
an
misled
artist
by them on the
past.
industry as a whole, where they act like there's only one path to success when it comes to VTubing, or at least they did. Not so much these days. It's starting to kind of get a little more clear that you don't have to sign with them, but for the longest time it was as if there was only one path to success in the space, which was signing with an agency, where they basically give you a career. They grow you through their network. They give you all the tools to grow, but they basically own
expertise.
you. And I know the argument a lot of people make is, well, they gave you your career. You do owe them like 90% of the money that you generate. That makes sense. Without 90? Them, you were nothing.
I don't know if it's
and
90,
I just think that is completely delusional. I think you've been brainwashed to think that. It's a little different nowadays where so many people are doing really well independent. There are so many independent VTubers that are crushing it, and a lot of formally contracted talent for agencies have left to be indie and are still doing really well. So it's being proven that you don't need these agencies to succeed as a VTuber. And I understand, like, you know, they do help speed up the growth of the career because then they just plug and play to like their network and just have eyes on you by default.
I can't believe that this company let them keep their IPs though. I'm actually very surprised. They let the both of those in the Twitter image that we were reading earlier. They let both of those VTubers keep their VTuber, right, persona and all of that, and even like apparently rights to merchandise and stuff like that. So that's kind of crazy, man. Like, I'm actually like we're shitting on them for being greedy, but that's one aspect that is not. You'd expect them to keep the IP. That's strange.
But from everything I've seen, it just never really seems worth the trade-off. Like, you never get a better deal. So like, let's say you start with them and then you explode and become the biggest VTuber in the world. All the ones I've seen, the contracts don't scale with that success, so you still are locked into a bad deal.
Yeah.
And now the agency just makes a killing off of your success, and you kind of
they just milk you harder.
In the same spot, more or less. Like, it just doesn't ever really feel worth it to do that when you can still be very successful without these agencies. And it just sucks to see that it is still so common that these agencies are greedy scumbags, like in this case here with Vshojo, apparently. But anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good video by Moist. And he's absolutely fucking right about this. Like, these companies are fucking despicable. But again, I wonder why they let them keep their IP. Could it be something exclusive? Like maybe that was part of the original deal. Maybe they were too big. Maybe they were just trying to save face with PR, right? Maybe it's like, oh, this is good PR if we just let them keep the IP. I don't know what the hell it is, but giving away, like, the IP is one of the most important things to keep as a company. Like, it's huge. Like, there's companies out there, like EA with Alice the Madness Returns. I think it was Alice the Madness Returns. They didn't want the creator, American McGee, to make a third Alice because they're like, we don't want to fund it. We don't think it's gonna make money. So then American McGee is like, okay, well, just let me have the I'll buy the IP from you. And then EA's like, we don't want to sell the IP. We're not doing anything with the IP, but we don't want to sell the IP. And one of the reasons why, this is something, I believe this was from Jeff Gersman, who said he used to work at a big company like this and he had ownership and stuff like that. And he was told, like, he asked, he's like, to the executive team, he's like, why is it that companies do this where they don't want to sell IPs that they're not even using? They don't care about IPs that are not they're not valuable. Why do they want to hoard them? And he was told that basically companies are afraid that if somebody or another company buys an IP that is basically trash tier at this point in time, not valuable, that company who bought it is now going to make just something so successful that's going to make the company who sold the IP look like retards. And so they're afraid to see you win. They're afraid that they're going to sell you garbage and you're going to turn that garbage into gold and it's going to make them look bad. That's fucking crazy, man. But that's how these companies are. Too long to read. Stealing is bad. Stealing from chronic disease victims is even worse. These people don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, it's yeah, it's bad, but they don't give a fuck. The only thing that matters to them is the bottom line. If they're losing money over this, then yeah, they're like, oh yeah, that was a bad mood, that was a bad move. But if they're not losing money over this, then they're just like, we don't give a fuck. They just keep doing it. But I bet you they are losing money. I hate that this isn't even hyperbole. $1 million company took advantage of a disabled woman by lying to her, stealing from her, and even withholding money from the charity that saved her life. This is fucking vile. Yeah. Yeah, dude. And it's a story as old as time. This is some old ass shit, man. Like, this is some like fucking robber baron shit. Remember when Vshojo plastered Ironmouse all over Tokyo to promote how well they treat their talents? Vshojo doesn't. Checking all of the evil villain corporate shell boxes. Take advantage of sickly girl, lie and deny the charity work, take zero accountability. Just another Monday, I guess. Pretty much. The fact that Ironmouse faced so much hate for her subathon when she was raising money for charity, so much she was bullied off of platforms like TikTok. All of that money she was trying to raise, it isn't even gonna go to the place she wanted. What a diabolical betrayal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is another one. Niji Sanji was another one that got in trouble. This is another controversial VTuber agency. Almost cost their talents to end themselves. Vshojo stole 500K from a charity that saved their streamer's life. Yeah, just a
Apparently.
freaking bad.
But anyway, I
look.
just wanted to.
Yeah, so this is I don't, you know what, I'm not sure we're gonna watch this one. So this is the end of Vshojo. I think we'll watch this one tomorrow. But I did wanted to take a look at, let's see, pirate software, Twitch fraud. Ooh, what's this? How long is this one? I did wanted to take a look at this one. And there's a Trump thing. Oh, there's the payment processor stuff. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at the payment processor uh situation over there at Steam. But before we do that, I want to show you payment processors and a censorship. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what this is about. Yeah. I want to show you the true nature of payment processors, these two mega giants that are Visa and Mastercard. I'm going to show you their final form right here. This is a classic moment. This isn't even that long ago. This was what, like 8 months ago? Yeah. So this was and this guy's pretty based, honestly. So this was 8 months ago. They were testifying in Congress for whatever reason. Um, and so they had the Visa and Mastercard. I believe these are the CEOs. Let's take a look and see. I was hoping there was going to be one slightly longer, but yeah, let's go with this one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just on that point about Visa and MasterCard being successful businesses, I think you figured it out, haven't you? I mean, what's your profit margin, Ms. Kirkpatrick?
It's circa 50%.
Mr.
Profit margin. It's around 50%.
Sheedy?
Slightly higher.
Slightly higher. So is the first one Visa? Is the girl Visa and the guy Mastercard? Is that what it is?
Higher than 50% profit margin?
Slightly higher than MasterCard, yes.
Oh, okay. So this guy's the Visa one. He's Mr. Bill here. He's the, I think he's the CEO or something like that. He's a high ranking guy of Visa, and the lady here is Mastercard.
Yeah, that's incredible. 50% profit margin. I mean, that's absolutely unbelievable. What's the answer to the Walmart question, by the way, that Senator Welch posed to you? What's Walmart's interchange fee that you negotiate with them?
I don't have it with me today.
You don't have any idea whatsoever?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't remember. When was that deal made? Walmart? Oh, that's a mom and pop business. I didn't even handle that. I don't know what that is. Not really an important thing for a business, dealing with Walmart.
Is it higher or lower than 2.5%?
Walmart negotiates their rates based on the business that they do with us.
Meaning they're big. They're really big. They're gigantic. So
Yeah.
they get a better deal than Mr.
Yeah, so they can negotiate. Yeah, exactly. So they're a big fucking deal. Yeah.
Mr. Callahan or most small businesses in Missouri. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, Senator, we have volume discounts that we offer to some merchants. I suspect Walmart is one of them. And, I don't believe that it's commercially unreasonable to get an arrangement where in exchange for more volume, a merchant can qualify for lower rates.
Well,
Yeah, that is, by the way, that is true. That is true. It's a pretty normal thing.
sure, it's not commercially unreasonable for Walmart, or certainly it's in their financial interest and in yours, but I doubt it's in Mr. Callahan's financial interest. And my question to you, Mr. Callahan, is when you've got Walmart and other major competitors getting charged much less than you are, why in the world would you stick with these guys? I mean, why is it that small businesses continue to use Visa and Mastercard?
You know why? You know fucking why? Because 90% of everybody has Visa or Mastercard or Mastercard. Like I have I don't think I've ever even seen, I used to work at at retail. I don't think I ever once saw anybody use like a Discover or anything like that. Pretty much everybody's Visa or Mastercard. I used to also work at a financial institution, and our customers would explicitly ask, like, can it be Visa or can it be Mastercard? Like, never once did anybody say, can it be anything else? They just wanted Visa and Mastercard because that's what everything takes. Because these companies essentially have a monopoly.
When you're getting charged so much more.
It's in my opinion, it's a matter of convenience for the customer, and customers matter to our business.
Maybe is it because that Visa and MasterCard are effectively monopolies? They control 80% of the market?
Certainly part of the
80%. They control 80% of the market. 80%. And it's like, it's not even that bad. Because it's like, if you think about it, like monopolies aren't bad. Natural monopolies aren't bad. The only monopolies that are bad, and this is, by the way, how the law works. Monopolies aren't bad. It's just monopolies that abuse their power and hurt industries and the economy and the customer are bad. So if you look at something like NVIDIA, for NVIDIA graphics cards, they have a monopoly. Like something like they have a monopoly on like desktop GPUs, laptop GPUs, DGPUs, dedicated GPUs. People love to buy them. My next card is going to be an NVIDIA card, and people will complain here or there. It's like, oh, NVIDIA doesn't do this, NVIDIA doesn't do that, but they're the best, and NVIDIA's not being sued for that because there isn't really any evidence that NVIDIA is really using anti-competitive practices. But I'm not so sure that's the case for Visa and MasterCard here.
80% of the market? I'm just having a hard time understanding, Mr. Sheedy and Ms. Kirkpatrick, you have a business model. You're making over 50% profit margin.
Jesus.
You
That's
are
insane.
able to give the shaft to small businesses. Estimated cost to Missouri businesses from these fees is $1.5 billion. That's with a B, $1 billion a year. Why aren't all of these businesses running away from this model? Because they don't have a choice because you control so much of the market.
That's exactly
This is
it.
classic monopolistic behavior. And yet
I just love the lady, the MasterCard lady. She's just there and she's just like, this guy's just basically calling them the devil. And she's just like, like she knows that she's unstoppable, basically. She's just like, yeah. I mean, you can decry it all you want, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna go back to doing what I'm doing.
your
And you can't
testimony
stop
here
me.
today is you don't want any competition. You have 80% of the market, but you don't want any more competition. I'm having a hard time finding that position defensible, let alone sympathetic. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of money that you're making. It's unbelievable what you're charging small businesses and consumers, and yet your testimony is, please, 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 we can't possibly have any competition. I mean,
Yeah, but guys, we can't compete. We're struggling here. We're making 50% profit on our overall business. We can't, come on, man. We got 80% market share. We can't compete. This is hard.
let's talk about what you're doing to consumers who hold your cards. Last year, as I understand it, there were 726 million Visa and Mastercard credit cards issued in the United States. That's about 2 for every 1 person in the United States of America. Do either of you know how much debt is owed on your networks, Ms. Kirkpatrick?
Trillions.
We're not the bank, so we don't have visibility into that information. We also don't generate revenue from interchange.
Oh, okay, you have no idea. Mr. Sheedy, do you know?
I don't know.
Well, let me help you out. Let's have a look. It's $1.17 trillion.
I told you.
$1.17 trillion is what consumers now owe on your credit card networks. Do either of you know what the average interest rate is on your networks?
Thanks for following, Ollywall78. Yeah, you can, when you follow, it'll let you know when I'm streaming. I'm looking to stream at least 3 times a week on weekdays. And, and probably a bit more. I'm not sure if probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday for sure. And then the other 2 days, I'm not sure exactly. And then I think weekends off. But yeah, thanks for following. And thanks for hanging out.
Ms. Kirkpatrick?
Oh, Senator, we're not the bank. We don't set the interchange.
I know,
we don't set the
benefit
rates
from it, and you know. Do you know what it is? This is your business model.
We don't collect revenue from
Mr.
interest
Sheedy,
rates.
do you know?
I don't, Senator.
I mean, do either of you read the newspaper? Forbes magazine just estimated last week that the average credit card APR in your networks is 28.75%.
28%. Annual APR, annual percentage rate. That is freaking massive. Now, obviously, Visa, they're just payment processors. It's the bank, but they're in on it. Like it's a symbiotic relationship. They don't make direct money from that. The bank does, but they are part of the ecosystem that enables the banks to do this.
Average, 29%. Let's call it 29%.
I just love this lady. She's just like always like, yeah, that's crazy. Wow, 29%. Yeah, Mr. Senator, that's wow. Yeah, it sucks for them. Sucks for all those Americans.
It's nearly doubled in the last 4 years. That is astounding, absolutely astounding. And you just testified a second ago that you've got more than 50% profit margin, and yet your testimony here today is you can't possibly survive if there's any competition. How can that be true?
They can't possibly survive, guys. Like, they can't do this. I mean, could you imagine there was like a big third payment processor that could rival Visa and Mastercard? I mean, come on, man. Like, there's just not enough space. The moment that they go below 50% profit margin, it's like it's over. It's bankruptcy.
How can that be true? You've got debt like we've never seen before in American history. Your profit margins are as higher than they've ever been. You have 80% of the relevant market in the credit card interchange fees that we're talking about, and yet you couldn't survive if there's any competition? What am I missing?
Yeah, this guy's freaking awesome. Like, he just freaking roasted them. He ate him alive. Yeah, I do love this. This is wild to see Republicans taking on big finance. I like it. Yeah, I love it. They can yell all they want. Let's see what they can do about it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and we do need Congress. Absolutely, man. These guys, they're a cancer. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even be that mad if they just if Visa and Mastercard just let people do whatever they want. Like if I'm a business, right, and I run a legal business in the United States or Japan or whatever. If Visa and Mastercard just said, "Hey, you do whatever's legal, and we're not gonna get in your way. We're basically just providing payment processing services for you, and you can do whatever you want. What you're selling, what you're doing doesn't matter to us. We are like it's like a net neutrality type thing." I wouldn't even be that mad. I wouldn't even like honestly. I'd be all like, "Oh, it's. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but like, it's not that big of a deal." But the fact that Visa and Mastercard now are starting to tell everybody how they should behave, trying to tell Steam essentially, "Hey, you can't have games that have like freaking incest in them because we don't like that." Like they're acting like governments, and this is it's fucking unsustainable. You can't have these people running around telling the whole world what to do. They're not elected. They don't represent Visa and MasterCard don't represent the people. The only thing they represent is their bottom line and whatever fucking personal values they have. So, yeah, let's take a look at a video. I wanted you guys to see this before so you can understand just how fucking terrible these companies are and just how powerful they are. Just how much control they have.
Imagine a world where your credit card company decides what games you can buy on Steam. That unthinkable future just arrived. Valve,
Yep.
known for its hands-off approach, has added a new rule that would change PC gaming forever. Not by law, but by the powers of payment processors like Visa and Mastercard. Starting
There
today,
you have it.
Valve updated its What You Shouldn't Publish on Steam section to include content that may violate the rules set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks and banks or internet network providers. In particular, certain kinds of adult-only content. This seemingly vague line has already been used, as SteamDB has reported the removal of a bunch of games, mainly the ones with incest themes. While Valve hasn't explicitly named the name
Visa and Mastercard, they do not like incest, guys. They're not about that. Is not their fetish. I tell you what.
of the reason for this happening, unconfirmed reports and industry patterns strongly point to major players like PayPal, Visa, and Mastercard, the most popular payment methods on Steam. There were even unconfirmed rumors about PayPal's temporary unavailability on Steam pointing to this, but I couldn't find anything that confirmed this was directly tied to PayPal. One group, Collective Show, a campaign for women, seems to be the ones mainly responsible.
Yeah, this is like some sort of like they're an Australian special interest group, I would say. And they're about on the outside they're feminists, but these feminists also are kind of feminists that are aligned with some conservative values, I guess, in Australia, like certain religious groups fund them, and they're not about abortion. So I guess they're feminists about certain things, and other things, like for example, that feminism usually is on the side of it, like in the United States. These guys are not.
Show, a campaign for women, seems to be the ones mainly responsible, having released several articles and open letters to these payment processors making claims about the games on Steam just within the last few days. So as these companies took note
The open letter calling on 7 payment gateways to stop profiting from gamified violence against women and children. Can you believe this? Gamified, fictional, video game, violence against women and children. Notice how the implication is that violence against men, you could just chainsaw men's bodies off, you can rip them to pieces, you can have them like eaten alive by bears and ripped to shreds. That's totally fine. But the moment that it's a woman, oh no, you can't have that. This is morally wrong according to my moral compass. Women are hollowed beings who can't be hurt. Like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is that? Like, if you're gonna have equality, I am a equal lefts and equal rights kind of guy, right? Like, if it's okay for a guy to get beaten to a pulp in a video game, then it should be okay for a woman too. You're both humans. You're both adults. Whatever. And you know what? I'm also okay with personally. Some people may think this is controversial. Like, if you can kill kids in a video game, fuck it. Whatever. It's fucking fiction. It's not real. Like, this isn't fucking real. If you can kill kids in a fucking movie, you can kill kids. Like, movies are way worse than video games, dude. Remember all those controversies they used to have back in the day about movies and how, like, you had, like, real children acting out in horror movies and, like, these movies that had sexual stuff going on, and you have kids on set that are partaking in these very adult, very raw themes. Remember that shit? And eventually it all went away. I mean, it didn't all go away. Like, eventually people are just like, oh, it's fine, whatever. It's okay for a fucking 7-year-old to be there, in a movie acting out on sets where people are getting, like, pretend chainsawed down and whatever. So, like, that's worse because kids are being exposed to this stuff. They're on set. They're on these, they're seeing these props. They're seeing stuff going on. They kind of get what's happening. So this is just a fucking video game. These are just pixels. This is just code. This isn't real. These are inanimate objects. Like, it's like fucking trying to protect, like, a wooden doll. It's a fucking doll. It's not a human being. Like, are you insane? Like, wake the fuck up.
Of this letter and told Valve they were going to leave the platform, Valve was left with adding this rule and giving these payment companies a bunch of power over Steam. This new rule is
crazy. Content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks and banks. That's like a whole army of companies, basically. Or internet network providers. So now it's like Comcast, fucking like Lumen and like fucking Cox Cable and all of this. Now they get a say in it too. So if something is like, if Cox is not about fucking, I don't know, if Cox is not about, and you know what, I don't really have a problem with this, but like if Cox is not about furry shit, or all of a sudden we're not gonna have furry games because your internet service provider is like, we don't like furry stuff. Yeah, we don't like that doesn't reflect our values. What the fuck kind of bullshit is this? I don't even like furry shit. I think that's just weird as fuck. But like, I'm a freedom guy. They want to do weird fucking GIF shit. You want to dress as Sonic the Hedgehog while they like, dance around in bed, whatever. So yeah, I don't have a problem with any of this. Let people do what they want to do. Let art be art. Let fucking, fiction be fiction. Stop fucking being insane. This isn't fucking the 1300s, man. Like, we get this shit. Fucking books went through this. Fucking radio went through this. Fucking TV went through this. Fucking video games went through this in the 90s. And now we have to deal with this shit again. Where you have these fucking grandmas and like these moral Andes running around fucking telling everybody, stop liking what I don't like. Stop liking what I don't like. Like, shut the fuck up and leave everybody alone. If you don't like to have fucking furry shit or like incest shit or whatever in your video games, then don't fucking buy them. That's it. And on Steam, by the way, you have to outright enable adult work. Adult games, adult only content. You have to enable that. So even if you make a Steam account, you're not going to see any of it. So like, what the fuck? Like, you're literally here by choice. Stop fucking telling people, stop liking what I don't like. Stay in your own lane.
Important because
Shit
it's
drives
not
me
just
crazy.
a small tweak, it's a fundamental change to Steam, as now these payment processors or other companies like internet providers have direct influence on Steam and what games are allowed on the platform. For many, this is a big worry. If payment companies can decide what adult content is allowed, people are asking what stops them from deciding.
And it's not just adult content. They pull this shit with like ammunition and guns, and they pull this shit with other stuff as well, like fucking hunting shit too. It's not about adult shit. It's about fucking just shit they don't like. They want to control the world. That's what it's about. It's about control.
About other things next. This is where we get into a slippery slope, where one small change could lead to much bigger, unwanted changes down the road. Now, it's
Yep.
important to understand that Valve was likely left with very few choices in this situation, as not listening to
Yeah.
the payment processors would have led to them removing their services from the platform,
Yep.
which is what many
And people would have been pissed by this. People would have been pissed. So much money would have been lost. Like Valve would have been like under hot water. Because guess what? Everybody has Visa and Mastercard. Like, what's Valve gonna use? Discover? And even, by the way, even then, I bet you Discover has similar bullshit practices like this. And even then, as you saw, it's not just Visa and Mastercard. Now they're fucking talking about ISPs, internet service providers, and the banks too. Like, so like fucking like Bank of America, fucking like, you know, Chase Bank in their moral fucking views and shit is now getting in the way of what video games people can buy or not. It's fucking insane. It's insanity.
have reported happened already by PayPal shortly before this rule was added. Now, to truly understand how big this change is, we need to look at Steam's past. This isn't about the specific adult games taken down, it's about a complete reversal of Valve's long-standing, hands-off approach to moderation. Before, Steam allowed a lot of games on the platform, as long as it wasn't outright illegal. The main times Valve would take down a game were if it had some malware inside, broke one of the very few Valve rules, or a specific government requested to get it removed.
Or he's missing the last one, and this is a controversial one, or seemingly some random guy at Valve who's some sort of anti-anime, anti-fucking Japan weirdo fucking saw a game that has anime people in it and thought to himself, oh, this must be like fucking, you know, illegal content, and then banned the game before it could even be on Steam. Many such cases, fucking hundreds of cases like that. I know one of the really bad ones was the, oh my god, what is that? Machine Head or Chain? I don't remember the game, but it was something like Machine, or not Chainsaw Man. No, it was something like that. And the game was a fucking game that was rated T14 or some shit. It wasn't rated M. It wasn't rated adults only or anything like that. It was a fucking basic ass game, like fucking Zelda. And it got taken down because some weirdo at Valve who was like moderating this and you know, moderating the what games can be sold in Valve and whatnot, said, oh, this game breaks our content policies because it has anime people. Like, it's fucking insane. So that's been a big problem. That's been going on for a long time. And it fucking sucks. I am of the mind, look, if it's not illegal, it should be able to be fucking hosted. I guess if Valve doesn't want to do it, fuck it. But Valve initially had that. That's what they believed in. When they first released this, I was fucking there. I read the whole thing. They said basically everything that's not illegal is going to be allowed. And then what happened is that there was some games, like there was a game that was like about rape or whatever. Because apparently you can't depict rape and fucking fictional shit. And I hate to use this word, but I mean, it really drives the point across. It's the woke video game journalists, which is basically all of them. To be told, all of them, basically all of them. PC Gamer, you know, Kotaku, Polygon, IGN, all of them. They're all like this. They all share those similar views. They're all in places where these views are very popular. A lot of these sites are in places like San Francisco, California, where these views are very prominent. So it makes sense why they're like this. But they started making all of these similar articles about, oh, this game promotes violence against women, just like the bullshit that the collective shout people were saying just now. And Valve eventually caved and started getting more strict. They're still the most loose place because they're the only ones that allow adult content. PlayStation doesn't allow it. Nintendo doesn't allow it. Nintendo has games that look like they're just teasing, but there's no, you're not gonna see any, tits or ass or anything like that. Certainly not to this degree. And Xbox is not very friendly with this stuff at all. So I don't know. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think it's a bunch of moral Andes trying to dictate what people can say or do. We've had this shit since the dawn of time, and it fucking needs to stop. If I want to buy a game that has, that it's like furry incest fantasy, fucking let me buy my furry incest yiffing fantasy. Fuck you. Let me do what I want. And of course, I'm not into fucking furry incest fantasies, but it's funny.
Valve's position with moderation and the relaxed rules led to Steam having a large number of adult games and sometimes other controversial content. This position Valve had brought them a bunch of complaints. In 2018, Steam faced criticism for
Here
a
we go.
hate
This is what I
group
was talking
problem
about.
due to lax enforcement against hate speech. Now, this wasn't a game, but it shows.
So what is this? Is that Steam has a hate group problem because Valve fails to enforce its own rules.
Due to lax enforcement against hate speech. Now, this wasn't a game.
Guess where this is at? I bet you this is. You can tell. I think this is PC Gamer. This is the PC Gamer website. What did I say? What did I fucking say? As these extreme progressive fucking extremists that run these sites, they're all the same. It's all the same shit.
Problem due to lax enforcement against hate speech. Now, this wasn't a game, but it shows how Valve generally handled moderating across the entire platform. In December 2022, US Senator Maggie Hassan even questioned Valve's efforts regarding Nazism, white.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Disturbingly, Steam has a significant presence of users displaying and espousing neo-Nazi, extremist, racial supremacists. Oh, and by the way, this person here, they say racial supremacists, but I bet you they don't do jack shit about all the black power and black supremacist stuff that you see in the United States. I bet you they don't say jack shit about that. It's not about equality. It's about playing fucking team sports. You're on my team and we like your people. Oh, then you can get away with bullshit. That's how these people work. Misogynistic and other hateful sentiments. Valve should be taking steps to prevent the content, especially given the relationship between online comments and violence and the other. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Supremacy and misogyny on the platform. In late 2024, ADO made a report about.
Look at this. The number 88 is racist. The number 88. Fucking racist. Because it refers to the letters HH. Which means apparently whenever you type HH, it's always going to mean, you know what. Like, what the fuck, man?
Misogyny on the platform.
Remember when we had the OK sign shit? You had like the fucking OK sign, and then like 4chan was memeing about the OK sign being a fucking white power symbol, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people, like a bunch of fucking Redditors and like leftist weirdos were running around like pointing out that anytime that somebody made the OK sign, they were a fucking white supremacist who wanted to like fucking enslave all of the racists or whatever. Like, how retarded are these people? Fucking nothing's changed. This is the same shit. The number 88 is racist. Anytime anyone puts 88 is because they want to, like, you know, destroy they want to genocide everybody that's not white, apparently. Shut up.
Late 2024, ADO made a report about how Steam had an extremism and anti-Semitism problem, which led to another US Senator, Mark Warner, asking Valve to do something or face further scrutiny by the US government. But Valve usually just ignored these complaints and requests for stronger moderation. As long as nothing was outright illegal or broke their existing rules, they generally wouldn't intervene with the content on their platform. So now, payment processors are no longer just handling your transactions, they're becoming content gatekeepers with massive power over what can be bought and sold online. The thing is, this isn't just a Steam issue, this is happening all over, showing a clear pattern. We've seen major hits in Japan's anime and manga market.
Yeah, Japan has
For
been hit
example,
hard by this
platforms
shit.
like Soruga and Manga Library Z were forced to remove adult content or even shut down because
Such
payment processors
bullshit, dude.
demanded
Literally
it. Another
killing
Japanese
entire
platform,
fucking
DL
industries.
Site, even tried to fight back, temporarily blocking Visa and Mastercard to keep its adult content available. Just this
Dude.
year, payment processors in Japan started holding back money from adult game creators on Steam. This was such a big deal that it led to an official investigation by the Japanese government into these payment companies.
Holy shit, this time expression regulation, because so this is translated with fucking AI or some shit. So Japanese banks are excluding adult oriented games. Are banks engaging in expression regulation? Yes, they are. So we have received multiple opinions and questions. If the game in question is adult oriented, Japanese banks decline the transfer from overseas, preventing the receipt of revenue. To begin with, those handing out adult oriented games are unable to open bank accounts in Japan. Okay, so they're gonna have some agency investigate it or some shit.
And their practices. It's not just Japan either. OnlyFans in 2021 famously announced that they would ban all sexual content because of pressure from their payment processors.
So
Until
fucking
they
tiring
reversed
with
the
these
decision.
moral
Patreon
andies,
2
man.
has faced similar issues in the past. So as we're seeing with Steam's new rule, this isn't just Valve's problem. It's a widespread issue showing how these powerful payment companies like Visa and Mastercard are deciding what gets sold and what doesn't across the internet. The thing is, now we're seeing this first step. If payment processors can now influence certain kinds of adult-only content,
And this is old. This is an old
where
problem.
does it stop? This is the big concern for many people. If these powerful companies can block one type of content today, what prevents them from moving on to other types tomorrow? Could it be games that talk about different political topics?
Yeah.
What about games that tell stories some people might find controversial?
I mean, they've
or
already done,
challenging? Could
like I said,
even
they
push
already
for
went after
changes on
guns. They
games
tried
that
going
don't
after
fit
guns,
certain beliefs, even if
which
they're
is something that's
perfectly
legal in the
door
United
is
States.
now wide open. Before,
Like,
Steam decided, but with Valve's new
this
rule,
shit
these
is
payment
completely
processing
broken.
companies and others like internet providers
If they can do
now
this,
have a
it's
huge
completely,
say
the
for
whole
what's
system is
allowed on
fucking
Steam.
broken.
This means they could in the future decide what games you buy, not based on laws, but on their rules. This
Yeah, on
is
their
a big
personal
deal because
morality.
it takes away control from Valve and gives it to these companies whose main job isn't about games or art, but about money and transaction. Now, I've already seen a few different suggestions from different Steam users, including exploring different payment options, like maybe crypto, or even
That's
the
not gonna work.
possibility
They've
of
already
Valve
tried that,
developing its own
and
payment
it didn't
system.
work.
Think of a Valve
Like
Pay
Visa
to get
and,
around these restrictions entirely.
Visa and
Valve's new
Mastercard just
rule, which is directly
Visa, like there were some of these Japanese places that tried this, and it didn't work. Visa and Mastercard still like blocked all their shit, and most people use Visa and Mastercard anyway. So it's like, you know, like people, the thing that people care about most is convenience. And so if you have to like go out and like do some fucking like convoluted shit just to be able to buy some shit online, a lot of people are just not going to do it because it's too much work. That's how Visa and Mastercard get their power.
By powerful payment processors, card companies, banks, and internet providers marks a big moment for the platform. What do you think Valve should do? Should payment processors have this much power?
Absolutely not. The government should get in on this. I think the government should absolutely have some sort of like net neutrality type thing where it's like, you are a payment processor. It is not your business what people are buying. As long as it's legal, it should be fine. So stop trying to meddle and stop trying to control the whole world. You literally the whole world is controlled by these guys when they pull shit like this. I mean, I don't know about any power. It's like, fuck no, payment processors should not have any power. I don't know about any power, but man, Payment processor should process my payment and nothing else. That's exactly what I'm saying. This is exactly how it should be. Just process my payment and that's it. Stop fucking trying to like control what I can and can't buy, especially if it's illegal. Someone start the Stop Killing Payment Processors option petition. Yeah, true. Anyone else feeling some dystopia? I mean, it is. We're being told to vote with our wallets when our rights of purchasing are now being infringed. Yeah, I agree. I don't think
platform. What do you think of
I don't think ValPay would have fixed this stuff. Yeah. See, this is the problem because they also they also have the internet service providers. Like Valve is not going to have a thing for everything, and Epic is just going to bend over it. But everybody will switch to Epic simply because it will become massively inconvenient. If you have to use Valve, you have to use a Valve credit card. You know, you have to use a Valve internet service. You have to use a Valve bank. Like that's just like it's way too much shit. This, oh man, we needed something like this. So the Fair Access Banking Act, to banking, Fair Access to Banking Act, as bills HR 987 and S401 were introduced in the House and Senate earlier this year after the initial wave of this stuff ruffled some hairs. To put a stop to payment processors' ability to throw their monopolies way around, controlling what legal products we can buy with our own money. Please spread, fuck yes, dude. Please spread the word and contact your lawmakers to support this act and let them know we don't appreciate corporations being moral busybodies holding businesses hostage. Oh, yeah, it's going to get massively, these things always get lobbied hard. Yeah, this is what I was saying. They try to do the same thing with legal gun purchases years ago. Turning data collection into a pseudo gun registry, basically. They were forced to back off when Congress heard about it. Some states like Florida even outright ban any form of firearm registry, with the only exception being for when the gun was used in the commission of a crime or used in legal self-defense. This meant payment processors would have lost access to lucrative markets like Florida if they kept pushing with that data collection method. See, that's exactly how you get them. You need laws, man. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks guys for watching. It's been a pretty good stream. Let's say not bad. I'll be back tomorrow with more streaming goodness, and appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Peace.